Happy full moon, everybody. I'm going to just talk about the full moon that's happening today. So the sun is in Virgo and then the moon is in Pisces. So they're opposites. Virgo's in the sixth house and Pisces rules the 12th house. So it's just they're opposites. Whenever we have a full moon, we can kind of expect to just consider the opposites because that's what's happening. The two brightest bodies of light from our view are opposing each other. So it's a very natural time to think about opposites. Let's talk about what Virgo and Pisces kind of represents, and then we can see the polarity that is between them. So we'll start with the sun. The sun's in Virgo. That's an earth sign. Virgo is concerned with like everyday routines. Virgo's concerned with it's earth, so it's practicality. It's like laying out the stepping stones, like what needs to happen next, ask the Virgo. Usually Virgo, people that have strong Virgo placements in their charts are really good at bringing order to chaos. It can come along with some nervous energy. They can feel a bit chaotic if they haven't quite figured out how to master like taking the chaos and dividing it into categories and methods and using all of the data, all of the information that's swirling around in order to like lay out stepping stones or lay out a path or calculate a route that is going to get you to where you're going. Virgo is also associated with the Virgin Mary. I think that is kind of where the name comes from. I could be wrong. I will double check on that. And what that symbolizes to me, and it may be different to you or to different astrologers, being of service. Like the Virgin Mary was, whether you view her as like a mythological creature that like we tell stories about but maybe wasn't factual, or you view her as very factual and believe that she existed, this person dedicated her life to something. Like she took the word, she had faith, and she offered herself up to it. And that's kind of a similar feel of what I get from Virgo. I have a couple Virgo friends that are, they're very sensitive creatures. They have this really wicked inner critic that like is probably the most distracting thing in their realm, of this little voice that's nagging at them. They didn't do it right, they didn't do it good enough, and that can even prevent them from making decisions because there's so much like anxiety around doing it good and doing it right and like being perfect and being the best. So that's where the sun is. That's where our outer expression is, in that service oriented, kind of healing oriented, providing, caring for others oriented. I also think of the medicine woman. I feel like Virgo always has their little remedies and they want to share it with you because they want to take care of you. They want to be of service to you. So that's where the sun is. Moon is over in Pisces, which is a water sign. So our emotional body is a little bit closer to the surface. We have a little bit easier access to our feelings, and that doesn't mean it's easy to label them or easy to put words to them. It's just that like we can feel them a little bit more. So the moon is over in dreamy Pisces. That's the 12th house. It's the house of like the unknown, stuff that's hidden, stuff that we hide from ourselves, like that we don't want to face. That's a big deal in Pisces. Pisces people can be kind of like psychological escape artists. So if you have a lot of Pisces placements, I'm going to use my mom as an example. She has like 6 planets in Pisces or 5 planets in Pisces, something. It's a very large number. And I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Like, I'm not calling her out, I'm not throwing her under the bus, but like, I think she can use her faith and like her positivity to kind of not face things that she doesn't want to deal with. It's easier to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to put this in God's hands. And like, she genuinely does. And I think I think it's really cool. I think it's, wow, to be able to believe in something so much, to like, that's God, like God's got it. Don't even worry about it. And that might not be the best example, but we can do that in very unhealthy ways, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It can be easy to become so addicted to validation or to positivity or to like harmony that we literally will just escape if we don't have it, whether it's through this toxic positivity. We're like, oh, good vibes only. We only feel good things here. That's not, I'm sorry, I don't think that's healthy. So let's talk about this. So it's opposites. Pisces is about healing the collective. It's about everybody's secrets, everybody's hidden stuff that they don't want to face. And Virgo is about like bringing order to that chaos. So we have two opposite ends of the spectrum going on. So just consider those things as we go through our day today, or as you go through your weekend. How do you do the routine, the everyday acts of service and caring for yourself and caring for others? And then over here, how do you do this mystical, intangible, like healing that needs to happen in order for the world to become a better place? So again, opposites, polarities. I love this combination. I love this moon because when the moon is in Pisces and we are in this kind of intangible, mystical, like dreamy, visionary world, we can see exactly what we think is perfect, exactly what we think is ideal, exactly what we want. And then with the sun in Virgo, we are more inclined to know what to do in order to make it real, in order to like bring those dreams down so they are happening in real time in this reality. So that's kind of why I love this full moon that's happening. I think it already happened. I think it was at like 5 a.m. But you can, when we look out and see the moon tonight, it'll still look full. Just a couple notes that I made, some opportunities that come up with this full moon. It's tapping into empathy. We can feel a little bit more connected to our loved ones, to our neighbors, to the other people that are here also on this planet. And seeing that as a deep spiritual connection, kind of like how all the trees and all the fungus in the world has this hidden little network of communication systems. I think we as people have that too. And so that's an opportunity that comes when the moon is in Pisces, is tapping into empathy, deep spiritual connection. Some challenges that come from with this, all that's going on in the sky, I'll tell you a little bit more. It can be difficult, it can be challenging to release toxic situations. And it can be a little bit difficult to find stability in relationships. So all that is because there's a lot going on. It's not just the sun and the moon that are opposite from each other, but the Mars is squaring. We talked about Mars for the last moon. Mars was a big player. I think Mars will continue to be a big player for a little bit longer. This, with Mars interfering or interacting with the energy that's around us, can make us a little restless, can make us a little nervous, a little bit anxious. And it just highlights that we must make healthy choices that honor our needs and sensitivities. So if you're immersed in this environment that is toxic to you, maybe it's too fast, maybe it doesn't honor boundaries, maybe it doesn't, any number of things. You have to have the wherewithal about you, the awareness about you to be like, okay, I'm not going into that today, or I'm going to spend some time undoing everything that environment did. So I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to turn off my phone and let my nervous system rest instead of continuing to scroll and get the dopamine spike and the serotonin hit from getting likes and from seeing things that kind of fulfill that need for instant gratification that we can have sometimes. With Mars interacting the way it is, there can feel like many things are competing for our attention. This is exciting. We get swept up in it. It's so much fun. However, it can distract us from like doing what we need to do and doing what is going to actually help us to evolve or help us to take the next step in order to bring our dreams down to reality. The moon itself is also conjunct Neptune. So this really enhances the mystical undertones and the intuitive abilities that come with this full moon. Neptune encourages us to explore, to daydream, to envision new possibilities. And we must find a way to balance this personal need for freedom to do these things, to do this like weird out there daydreamy, with the need for healing and compassion. That is the balance between Virgo and Pisces. We need to be able to do what we need to do, and we also need to be able to act in a way that promotes good for all. Healing for everybody, compassion for everything. There's great potential to unlock or open new doors to the future with this full moon because of its relationship to Jupiter as well. We may find ourselves realizing new solutions or brainstorming new ways to innovate in our unique circumstance, whatever we're in. It provides an opportunity to understand more deeply personal values and like why you care about the things you do. And am I fighting for those things? Are those things really even important to me? Where did they come from? Did I choose to value this, or is this something that was spoon-fed? Or this is like now a habit. It's just a habit to care about this versus something that like actually truly you're choosing actively to care about it. From there, we can choose to walk our path more consciously with more intention. It may require surrendering to radical changes from the norm. We have Uranus affecting this moon, which is typically whenever, and Uranus is doing all this weird shit right now. It's going retrograde. It's influencing the moon. And whenever Uranus is involved, usually there's like unpredictable things going on, or it's like a sudden lightning bolt and everything is different. So just be aware of that as we go through the weekend, I guess. Know what your values are and choose them wisely. Choose them because you want to, not because it's something that like your mom suggested, or that when you were in third grade and your friends, it was a big deal then. Like, we hold on to those things. And that's why Mercury went retrograde yesterday, is such an important time. I think it happens quarterly. We need to stop and think about why we think the way we do. Is this a habit? Is this productive? Is it constructive? Is it going to get me where I want? Or is this same habitual thinking style going to be the thing that drives me into the ground? Wow, I got really into that one. The whole moon situation is trining Scorpio. This asks us to let go of something or just to allow a new chapter to begin. It supports the ability to see the truth about something or someone. And then with all of the planets retrograde, with Mercury retrograde, there's really valuable information coming in via tension. So it's the tension that is the delivery messenger for how we recognize that maybe something isn't quite right, something isn't working anymore. Don't be scared of tension. I think it's so fascinating to listen to the things that like, oh, that really bothers me. Why does it bother you? Where's that coming from? Is that something, do you still want to feel that way? Or like, would you rather just hold on to what you thought for a long time? The tension that comes can help us to expand our awareness. It can be an extended release of your mindset, belief systems, relationships that cloud our view, that aren't true anymore, that we've decided, okay, I don't need to hold on to that. So yeah, happy full moon. If you have any questions, let me know. I am going to share some videos getting into the retrogrades that are happening over the next week or so, or this month. So if there's anything specific you want to know, let me know, and I hope you have a good day.